You actually can unlock up to $100,000 in credit limits from banks that pull Experian. So 100,000 in terms of credit card limits, but also personal loan. Okay, so when you think about the banks that pull Experian this year, I want you to really pay attention to this list. First of all, you have American Express National Bank. So American Express National Bank is actually it's not your regular bank. In other words, the bank doesn't have as many brick and mortar branches as say Chase or Wells Fargo or Citi. But the cool thing about American Express is that it is a very viable online bank that's pretty strong, as you know, when it comes to credit cards and also personal loans. So I'm not going to talk about American Express credit cards because you know already that American Express has a pretty wonderful credit cards, not only for individuals but also for businesses. And American Express pulls Experian all the time. And but I want to insist on the personal loan, the loan aspect of things. So American Express actually they actually offer personal loans. That's one thing that they actually do not advertise, but they do. They do actually offer personal loan, so you can actually qualify for a loan that goes from $3,500 to $40,000. In terms of credit cards, you can actually you can qualify for up to $50,000 on the personal side, but also a quarter of a million on the business side. Of course, on the business side, your credit limit will depend on a constellation of things, among including your revenue, your operational history, so how long you've been in business, and also the strength of your relationship with American Express. The thing is, what if you want to have a good credit limit through American Express, you want to have a good relationship on the banking side, but also on the credit card side. So you can qualify for up to $40,000 on the personal side in terms of loans, and a quarter of a million in terms of business loans. Credit cards are fantastic. You're gonna love them. And American Express actually will qualify you if you have a minimum FICO score of 600. So 600 is actually is a good critical mass, quote unquote, to actually qualify for an Amex credit card or loan. If you're looking for the best banks that pull Experian this year, I want you to consider Citi. And a lot of people actually underestimate Citi, but Citi has been around for forever, really. And so Citi actually will qualify you for personal loans, business loans, personal credit cards, and business credit cards. Granted, Citi is not as strong when it comes to credit cards as American Express. That's for sure. In other words, American Express has more credit cards. I mean, there are more credit cards. So Citi's strength is more on the banking side of things. I mean, Citi is a national bank, so they have branches in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii. And that's kind of cool because having this ability to have to actually have a presence on the continental USA, but also those two states, that's really good. But in terms of Citi will actually will work with you if you have a FICO score that goes all the way to 550. In other words, if you have bad credit, Citi will still work with you as long as you have a relationship with Citi. That's why it's important to actually have some kind of relationship with Citi. You can have a relationship through the banking side of things, so you can have a direct deposit, or you can actually open several accounts with Citi. You can have a checking account, you can have a savings account, you can have an IRA, you can have an investment account. You can choose a Citi to be your broker, your investing platform. Okay, and so the good thing about Citi is that Citi is not only a national bank but very fast too. You are also able to apply at a branch. You can walk into a Citi branch like today and actually apply there. That's not a problem. Okay, and so in terms of credit limits on the credit card side, Citi can go all the way to 50K maximum. On the personal loan side, Citi limits you at 30 grand. So you have loan amounts up to $30,000. APR is pretty decent. You're looking at 12% to 20%, and that's kind of cool. But Citi actually has no origination fees, no late fees, and no prepayment penalties. And you also have a 24/7 online banking access. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility. That's really fantastic. Another wonderful bank that pulls Experian this year, I want to share with you, is actually Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo, you're going to love Wells Fargo for two reasons. Number one, Wells Fargo offers a good variety of personal credit cards. So you're going to love because, as a matter of fact, Wells Fargo even has a credit card that actually combines cashback and travel points. So that's really interesting. But what you're gonna love more when it comes to Wells Fargo is that Wells Fargo actually is a very, 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 very generous personal loan provider. Can you imagine that Wells Fargo will give you up to $100,000 if you're applying for a personal loan? $100,000. Wells Fargo is the only big bank, big national bank, offering that much. The only other lenders that I can think of, they have such a high limit when it comes to personal loans. Those are SoFi, and then SoFi, the online lender, the fintech online lender. But you also have a Truist. So Truist through their online arm, and their online arm is Lightstream. So you don't have a lot of players. You don't have a lot of lenders that actually will give you up to $100,000. So on the personal credit card side, Wells Fargo will limit you at 50K, but on the personal loan side, they are very, very generous. So that's really good. That's really good. And basically, Wells Fargo wants to work with you if you have a FICO score minimum of 585. 585, and it always helps if you have a long relationship with the bank. Okay, the longer your relationship with Wells Fargo, the better your chances of actually qualifying for a personal loan or credit card. Okay, and in terms of personal loans, the minimum loan amount here is $3,000. The maximum is $100,000, and the repayment window is pretty flexible too, because it goes from 12 months all the way to 84 months. So you are looking at 1 year all the way to 7 years, and you also have the possibility to actually go through a soft pull, so you can pre-qualify for the loan. So that's kind of cool. You can pre-qualify for the loan through Wells Fargo's website or app. If you are looking for banks that pull Experian this year, I want you to think about PNC. And granted, PNC is not as prominent as Wells Fargo, because PNC is a regional bank, is a tier 2 bank, whereas Wells Fargo is a tier 1 bank. Yet PNC really kicks a lot of ass. Why? Because PNC actually values you if you have a good relationship with them, an existing relationship with them. You have been a customer for at least 3 months, and you actually are able to domicile your direct deposit at a PNC account. Okay, and so the more transfers you domicile through PNC, the better it is for you. And PNC actually has the personal loans. They have credit cards. Okay, and they will consider your application. If you have a credit score that goes from 550 all the way to 590, so that's really important to think about. And PNC is very good when it comes to credit limits. When it comes to credit cards, for example, they will give you a maximum of $50,000, but on the personal loan side, they will limit you at $35,000. And PNC actually is one of the rare lenders into this conversation that also offers a personal line of credit. So on the personal line of credit side of things, you can qualify for a maximum line of credit of $25,000. If you live in California, the maximum you can qualify for is $5,000. I mean, that's simply because of state regulations. Okay, but that's kind of cool. I mean, $1,000 minimum, $35,000 maximum. That's really fine. And PNC also has a good selection of credit cards, so that's really good. So the only thing is you just have to be in the geography that PNC covers, because PNC is not a national bank. PNC is a regional bank. I've said this before, but I want to reiterate it. And basically, if you live in the geography they cover, you are really you're lucky. But with PNC, if you get approved for a personal loan, for instance, You can actually use it to pay off credit cards, moving expenses. You can finance a major purchase, home improvements, weddings, vacations, and travel. So you have a lot of flexibility with a PNC personal loan. So that's really fantastic. If you are looking for a bank's That Pull Experian this year, I want you to consider TD Bank. And TD Bank is another big player, another tier 2 regional bank that kicks a lot of ass when it comes to personal loans, credit cards. Now, TD Bank doesn't have as many credit cards, as many credit card offers as, say, American Express or Wells Fargo or even Citi. But TD still actually kicks ass in the sense that it will give you up to $50,000 if you actually have been a customer of theirs for the last 3 months. Okay, and TD actually is more prominent in the Northeast, but also in the southern part of the country, like in Florida, in Georgia, and so that's really good. But you gotta be, again, you have some elements of geo restriction here, so make sure that you actually live or operate in the geography that TD actually offers. Okay, and maximum TD will work with you if you have a FICO score minimum of 600. That's what TD will consider you. And in terms of personal loans or credit cards, TD will qualify you for a maximum credit limits of $50,000. So that's really good, because I mean 50 grand, that's really good. So on the personal loan side, TD will work with you from $2,000 all the way to $50,000. But TD is pretty good when it comes to approving real fast. So they can approve you real fast, usually within a day or two, and the funds are actually released real fast too. And you can use a TD Fit loan. I mean, the loan is called TD Fit loan. Okay, and so you can use that loan for a lot of things. You can use it to consolidate credit card debt, renovate your home. That's really good. You can purchase or repair a vehicle. You can take a vacation. You can fund your wedding, and you can cover also medical expenses. If you're looking for banks that pull Experian, I want you to think about another big player, and that's BMO Harris Bank. And BMO actually a couple of years ago was not really as prominent on the banking side nationally, but they actually purchased a prominent bank in California recently. I mean, 1 or 2 years ago, and that bank was called Bank of the West. So that purchase actually is now enabling BMO to be like a bigger player, a more prominent player. So that's really good. And you can see that when it comes to the credit card offers that BMO has going forward, and when it also comes to their credit cards and personal loan, by the way, so that's really good. So when you think about BMO in terms of credit cards, think about, or even loans, think about maximum $50,000, and BMO wants you to be a customer of theirs for 3 months before you can qualify, especially if you have a low credit score. Let's say your score is around 575. I mean, BMO will look at your application with consideration if you have a minimum FICO score of 525. But at that very low score, with that very low score, you better have either a direct deposit through BMO, or you better be actually with them for a while. And that really helps you. It helps a lot to have a multi, what I call a multi product relationship, an MPR. That way you have solidified your relationship with BMO, and that's really good. And so $50,000, that's really the maximum loan amount you can get through BMO. Okay, so with BMO you can actually get a loan, you get a line of credit, you get a credit card, and BMO actually, as I said a little earlier, the bank is actually expanding its geographic footprint. So you can actually visit a branch. You can walk into a branch and apply there. You can apply also via the app, or you can call 1-888-340-2265. 1-888-340-2265. One thing for sure, when you actually are considering a BMO in terms of your next personal credit cards or a personal loan or a personal line of credit, make sure that you actually have direct deposit with them. Make sure that you have a job. You don't have to make a lot of cash necessarily to actually qualify for a loan or credit card or a line of credit, but you do need to have some stability in your employment. Next, I want to share with you Santander Bank. So if you're looking for banks that actually pull Experian this year, I want you to think about Santander Bank. And Santander Bank is actually a great bank in terms of personal loans. And actually also, you may pre-qualify for the loan. You may pre-qualify for the credit card too. The only bummer is that Santander is not really that big when it comes to credit cards. So you might be a little disappointed if you're looking for a lot of offers. Let's say you want to have 3, 4, 5, or 10 offers. Santander only has two credit card offers. I mean, they do have credit card offers in Europe, but in the States, they are pretty. They haven't actually expanded their business model really yet. Okay, they're a little timid. They're still timid, but in my opinion. Okay, but the good thing is that when you think about Santander, you want to really seize the opportunity of actually having the pre-qual. In other words, you are able to pre-qualify for a loan through Santander's website. Okay, and Santander is pretty good also in terms of its APR. Can you imagine that Santander will go as low as 6.99%? That's kind of cool. I mean, the maximum is 19.99. Okay, but that's still good, and you are able to get some kind of decent loan amount. So maximum, just so I'll let you know, is $50,000. So loans go from $5,000 all the way to $50,000. Okay, and you have also flexible terms of repayment from 3 to 7 years. So that's really good. And Santander is really awesome also because you have no origination fees, no closing fee, no prepayment penalty, and you actually could qualify for a 0.25 rate discount when you set up automatic payments from your deposit account. It can be a savings account. It can be an MMA, so money market account. It can also be a checking account, by the way. So overall, this is really good because it gives you the flexibility you need to have in the first place, and you can use the cash if you get a loan through Santander. You can use the cash to remodel your home, make home repairs, or pay for moving costs, cover emergencies or unexpected medical costs. And on the credit card side, you can actually also use it for anything. I mean, remember that the maximum is $50,000. So here's the epilogue into this conversation. I'll share with you banks that pull Experian this year. And so I give you the list and then now the epilogue. The list, you have American Express National Bank, you have Citi, you have Wells Fargo, you have PNC, you have TD Bank, you have BMO Harris, and then finally you have Santander. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.